Well, hello there. Sion Batson here from Sion Batson Tutoring, and in this video we will be solving quadratic equations by completing the square. Very important concept for all of my students taking the Algebra 1 regions, the Algebra 2 regions, the Geometry regions, the GED exam, my pre-cal students, and even if you are a first or second year college student, this video is for you. So let's go. Now, remember that the general form of a quadratic equation is ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0, where a is the coefficient of the squared term, b is the coefficient of the term that's not squared, and c is your constant. So a, b, and c, they are all real numbers. Yes? Also, we can solve a quadratic equation to find the zeros of the equation, the roots, the solutions, or the x-intercepts. Yes? Now, I am going to teach you a very simple sentence that will help you master this concept of solving quadratic equations by completing the square. Here is the sentence. My dad said auntie's feet stink. Sorry. M is for move. We'll move C first. D, we will divide B by 2. S, we will square. A, we will add. F, we will factor. And S, we will solve. So if you can remember this simple sentence right here, you will be able to master the concept of solving quadratic equations by completing the square. Now, very important. This sentence only works when A is equal to 1. Yes? So all of the equations in this video, A will be equal to 1. Very important. Yes? This sentence will only work if A in the quadratic equation is equal to 1. All right? Let's go. In our first example here, we have x squared plus 6x plus 8 is equal to 0. Step 1, we will move C. Well, the C term here is positive 8. So we'll move positive 8 to the right side of the equation. That's our first step. First step, to move the 8. So we'll subtract 8 from this side, and we'll subtract 8 from this side as well. So we are left with what? X squared plus 6x is equal to negative 8. Now we are moving the constant, or we're moving the 8 because we want the variables to be by themselves. Okay? Now, step 2, we will divide b by 2. Now, b in this example is positive 6. So we will divide 6 by 2. And that will give us 3. Now, this 3 right here is a very important number. I call this 3 right here my keeper. And you'll see why I call it my keeper in a few. After I divide, I will square the answer that I get after I divide it. When I divide it, I got 3. So I will square my 3. So 3 squared is equal to 9. So far, so good. Steps are very straightforward, yeah? Now, after I square, I will add the answer that I get to both sides of the equation. Now, I'm not going to add this 9 to the original equation. I'm going to add it to the equation that I got after I moved the C term, right? After I moved the C term, what we had left? We had x squared plus, let's put it here. We had x squared plus 6x is equal to negative 8, right? That is what we had left after we moved the C term. So we'll add 9 to this equation here. Well, to both sides, yeah? Add 9. Add 9. So we add 9 to both sides of the equation, yes? Then we'll simplify the right side. So on this left side, we have x squared plus 6x plus 9. And on the right side here, we have 1. Yes? No. After we add, we're going to factor. Yes? We will factor the quadratic equation that we have. We have x squared plus 6x plus 9. So we'll factor the left side. To factor, look how simple. No stress, no panic. To factor, we will use the variable and the keeper. That's why the keeper is important. Whenever you divide b by 2, you always keep track of that number, yeah? When we divided b by 2, we get 3. So we'll keep or put the keeper when we factor. We'll use the keeper when we factor. Then we squared that, and we put back our 1. So the factoring part is very simple. When we factor, all we'll need is the variable and the keeper. That's it. The variable in this equation is x, and our keeper is 3. The keeper is the number we got when we divided b by 2. Now, after we factor, we will solve, because that's the whole purpose for completing a square. You're trying to solve to get the zeros or the roots or the solutions, yeah? So to solve, our first step now will be to get rid of this square. This exponent here, that's 2. That's our first step, right? To get rid of this exponent here, that's 2. So to get rid of the exponent here, we will simply use the square root. The square root gets rid of the exponent, that's 2. So after squaring, we will get x plus 3. Now, if we square on this side, guess what? We have to square on this side as well. And the square root of 1 is, we'll use positive minus 1. Very important. When we complete the square and we square, we will use the positive and the negative root. Why? Because positive 1 times positive 1 will give me positive 1. Negative 1 times negative 1 will give me positive 1 as well. So we'll use both the positive and the negative root, okay? Now, we're not done. We still have to get the x isolated or by itself. So I'll take 3 from this side. I'll take 3 from this side. So what's left? X is now equal to minus 3 plus minus 1. Yes? Now, let's go find what the two values of x are. If we see here, we have two signs here. We have a positive sign and a negative sign. So x will first be, let's put it right here. X will first be equal to negative 3 plus 1. Yeah? And that will give us what? Negative 2. And then x will be equal to negative 3 minus 1. See that? Which is minus 4. So we have to add here and then we minus, because there's a plus and a minus sign there. So the two values for x are what? Negative 2 and negative 4. See that? So we are done. Yeah? Our two values for x are negative 2 and negative 4. So we can say that the zeros are negative 2 and negative 4. The roots are negative 2 and negative 4. The solutions are negative 2 and negative 4. If we were to graph this equation, the x-intercepts will be negative 2 and negative 4. Get the idea? So it's just a matter of following the steps. If you can remember this sentence here, you will not run into any problems. All you have to do is go step by step. Yeah? It's a very simple sentence, and you go step by step. Students run into problems because, one, they try to ignore the steps, or they just skip them. They just, well, hey, we don't need these steps. But if you go step by step, my dad said auntie's feet stink. If you go step by step, you will not go wrong. All right. Now, this is what I want you guys to do for me. Since it's just a matter of following steps, yeah, I want you guys to pause the video and try this one here. Give it a shot. It's pretty simple, yeah? You're going to first move C, then you divide B by 2, you square, you add, you factor, and you solve. I believe you guys can do this because it's just a matter of following these steps, right? Yeah? Good. Now, pause the video. If you need to, you can go back and watch the example that we worked first, then come back. Okay? Now, welcome back. Let's see if we will get the same answer. So, step by step. The first step will be to what? Move the C term. The C term in this example is -3. So we'll add 3 to this side to move it, and add 3 to this side. So what's left? We have x squared minus 2x is equal to 3. Did you guys get that? Very good. Next step will be to what? Divide b by 2. b in this example is -2. Yes? So we will divide -2 divided by 2, and we will get what? -1. Now, do you remember what we call this number right here? This number is our keeper. Don't forget it. And you'll see why it's called our keeper in a few. After we divide, we do what? We square, yeah? We square the answer that we get, or we square the keeper. Yes, so we'll do -1 squared, and that will give us 1. What? Because 1 times 1 is 1. All right, what happens next? After we square, we add the answer that we get to both sides of the equation. Now, remember, we're not going to add our answer to the original equation. No, we'll add it to the equation we got after we moved the C term. After we moved the C term, we had what? We had x squared minus 2x is equal to 3. Yes? So we'll add 1 to this equation here. Yes? So let's add 1. So it's x squared minus 2x. Then we'll add 1. And then we'll add 1. So far, so good? All right. Now let's simplify the right side here. So what's left? X squared minus 2x plus 1 is equal to 4. So far, so good? Very good, my friends. Now, after we add, we are going to factor the quadratic equation that we have. We have x squared minus 2x plus 1. To factor, remember, to factor, no stress, no need to waste time. We will use the variable, which is x, and the keeper, which is -1, and we'll square that, and we'll put back what we have on the right side. That's it. So this factoring part is the easiest part. All we need is the keeper. Once we have the keeper, right? Once we divide the b term by 2, yeah, we will use that and the variable, yes? And then we will square them. So factoring is very simple. Now we solve, because that's the whole reason we are completing the square, to solve. So we can solve now. To solve, we will first get rid of this exponent here. And to get rid of the exponent, we will use the square root. The square root eliminates the exponent. So if we use the square root here, we're left with x minus 1. Now, if I square the left side, I have to square the right side as well, yeah? Remember, in any equation, whatever operation you do on one side, you must do that operation on the other side as well. The square root of 4 is plus -2. Remember we said in the previous example, we'll use both the positive and the negative root. Because +2 times +2 give us +4, and -2 times -2 gives us +4 as well, right? Okay, now we're not done, we still have to get the x by itself. So we'll add 1 here, add 1 here. So what's left? X is equal to 1 plus minus 2. Yes? If you see now, because there are 2 signs here, we'll have to do 2 operations to get the value of x, yeah? We'll first add. Let's do it right at the side here. So x is equal to 1 plus 2, which is 3. Yes? And then x is equal to 1 minus 2, which is equal to -1. So the 2 values of x, or our 2 zeros, or the roots, or the solutions, or the x-intercepts are 3 and -1. How was that? I hope you guys got that. I know you guys got that. Even if you didn't get that, go back and see where you made your mistake. Go back. You see how I did went step by step. That's the key. Going step by step. If you go step by step, you will not run into any trouble. Yes? Can we work one more? All right. Let's work one more here. And again, remember, the sentence only works. It works if and only if A is equal to 1. I will do a second video with equations that have A greater than 1, okay? But for now, this sentence only works if A is equal to 1. All right, let's see. Let's say we have, let's do x squared minus 12x is equal to -11. Now, first step is to move C. Well, in this case, C was already moved for us. Yes? You see that? The variables are by themselves and the constant is already on the other side. So we don't have to move C. So we'll go straight to dividing B by 2. B in this example is -12. So we will divide -12 by 2 and we get what? -6. Remember, what do we call this -6 right here? Our keeper. Yes, that's our keeper. We always keep track of the answer we get after we divide the B term by 2. Now, after we divide, we will square the keeper. Yes, or square the answer we got when we divided. So -6 squared is equal to positive 36. Yes? After we square, we do what? We'll add our answer to both sides of the equation. Well, here, so remember, we always add to the equation we get after we move the C term. C was already moved for us, so we'll add a 36 to the equation that we started with in this example. Add 36. Add 36. So far, so good? All right. If you want to, you can pause the video here, finish up the problem, and then come back and see if we get the same answer. Yeah, it's fun, right? Yeah, you can pause it and come back to see if we get the same answer. Okay, let's continue. What's next? We will simplify this side right here. So what's left? X squared minus 12x plus 36 is equal to what? 25? Yes? All right. Now, after we add, we will factor. We'll factor the quadratic equation that we have here. Yes? All right. And remember, this is the easiest part because the factor, all we will use is the variable and the keeper, which is -6. We'll square them, and then we have 25 on the other side. That's it. So far, so good. All right. Now, after we factor, our job now is to solve, because that's why we are completing the square, to solve so we can get the zeros and the roots or the solutions or the x-intercepts, yeah? So to solve, our first step here would be to get rid of this exponent here, right? To get rid of the exponent here, we will use the square root. The square root, guess what? The square root eliminates the exponent. Now, if I square on this side, or if I use the square root on this side, I should say, I must use the square root on this side as well. And the square root of 25 is positive -5. Remember, we always use both positive and negative roots, okay? Now, we're not done. X is still not by itself. So we'll add 6 here, add 6 here. So what's left? X is equal to 6 plus -5. So again, if you see, we have two signs here. We have a positive sign and a subtraction sign. So we'll add and subtract to find the values of x. Yes? So let's put it here. So x will be equal to 6 plus 5. which is 11. Yeah? And x will be equal to 6 minus 5, which is 1. How is that? Good? So our roots here are 11 and 1. Those are our roots, 11 and 1. Very simple idea. If you can follow this simple sentence, follow these simple steps, you will be fine. Yes? Now remember again, very important, this sentence only works when A is equal to 1. Alright? Now, again, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I really hope you enjoyed my approach. Yes? Until next time, please enjoy your math homework and remember to practice. See you.